All right, guys, now that we have officially finished the novel, good job, by the way. If you guys still have your packets from the beginning of the semester, go ahead and take a moment and get those out. Feel free to pause the video and come back to it once you've got them. All right, a little bit of a pause there, just to give time to pause and unpause the video. So also review, it's on the very first page of your packet. So you flip it open and you had these questions that were asked of you where you would score on 1 to 5, where it's like you strongly agree being 5, or you strongly disagree, which is 1, or you're neutral, which is 3. So you guys did these before you started reading the novel. So just starting up a new unit, getting asked a couple of questions. There are 10 total, and you guys answered on, as I said before, on a scale of 1 to 5. So go ahead, and now that you guys have finished reading the novel, give your guys selves another score out of 5 on these same questions, just to see if they've changed now that you guys have finished reading To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm pretty curious to find out what your guys' answers are. So at the end of this video, feel free to take a picture and email it to me for some extra credit assignments, especially with you guys being right at finals. Feel free to get those extra points. It's as easy as circling 10 things and taking a picture. So question number 1 asks, if you are innocent, you have no need to fear the judicial system. So when you guys are thinking on this one, remember Tom Robinson, as well as Boo Radley and everything with whether or not it should be declared an accidental death with George Yule. Number 2, education occurs inside of a classroom, or only inside of a classroom, sorry. So, do you learn only inside the classroom, or do you learn outside the classroom? Has your opinion changed now that you've read To Kill a Mockingbird and you sort of saw how Scout is? Number 3, when the law does not succeed in punishing criminals, citizens should do so. So this one, I was really curious when you guys were in class and you guys were circling these, what everyone's answers were. And I was really surprised to find how varied it was. And then in talking to people one-on-one, what their different responses were. So go ahead and give you guys yourselves a self-rating on that one, and see if it has changed overall. Has it changed a lot? Has it changed a little? You always won and you still are, or maybe you were a 3 and now you're a 5, things like that. So number 4, it's hard to stand up for what you believe in, especially when no one agrees with you, which is something you talking about integrity and things you might have experienced in your personal life, how that might have changed, even just in quarantine. With more interaction being online and things like that, are you finding yourself more confident speaking your mind, or are you a little bit more wary? Number 5, there are certain groups or people that are naturally better than others. So if we think back to Kill a Mockingbird with the so-called social levels of society, the founders being up at the top and the minorities and people of color down at the bottom due to Jim Crow laws and general racism, things like that. Has your mind changed at all over that after reading this book? And then number 6, if someone stays away from people, he or she probably has something to hide. So this one definitely is about Boo Radley. I know you guys had a lot of thoughts about Boo Radley, about what's he doing in that house, what his motivations are, things like that. So maybe after walking a little bit in his shoes, as Atticus would tell Scout, maybe your opinion on that has changed. Number 7, it's okay to lie about something as long as you are helping someone you love and or care about. So this one again can get related back to whether they declare it an accidental death, whether they keep secrets, things like that. So number 8, you can usually tell what kind of person someone is by the way that they look. So with this one, we got to go back to, I'm going to say his name wrong, it was Dolphinius. But that was all the way back in chapter 20 when you have the trial and everything, and you find out that this whole time you've assumed he's the town drunk, and the bottle in his paper bag is actually just Coca-Cola, and everyone assumes that it's alcohol, and he lets them assume that it's alcohol. So it's just they judge him by how he looks. So maybe after thinking about that, your opinion on it has changed. Number 9, it's wrong to hate someone. We've had a lot of complex characters in this novel and people were very quick to judge. Number 10, if you know you're going to fail at something, it's pointless to even try. So feel free in your guys' packets to submit a screenshot of before and after. Ooh, I thought I had it, never mind. I thought I had my packet up. I was gonna say, feel free to screenshot the packet with your before and after readings. And if there were any major shifts, like, you know, like a 2 became a 5 or a 4 became a 1, things like that, feel free to also write up a little paragraph response for some extra credit. Get every point you guys can get. And then overall, we've talked a lot about like the themes and the connotations behind To Kill a Mockingbird, like with what is justice, and how it was a banned book on the banned book list. Like I remember talking to some kids right before the lockdown about how even when banned books are taken off of the banned books list, often there isn't enough of a demand for people who like want to read them for it to go back into publication. So they end up like not so readily available to like and easily found as other books that weren't banned before them because there were more publications and more copies available. Whereas with To Kill a Mockingbird, it has been banned in multiple schools and then brought back, and yet here we are, we've got copies, we've got a graphic novel, we've got all these things. And this, I actually was just looking up To Kill a Mockingbird memes. Like I literally just Googled it, like Google image search it, and this picture popped up, and then I fact checked it, and I thought it was really interesting to think about because I know that like Harper Lee or Nell Harper, there we go, yeah, Nell Harper, because it was like I forget where the Lee came from, but it's like Nell Lee Harper might be her first name or her full name, but her first name was Nell. I had read an accompanying book by the author, and she was a really big like spitfire. She was very much so like headstrong. So I thought it was interesting to include this. When a Virginia school board tried to ban To Kill a Mockingbird as immoral, author Harper Lee wrote a letter asking if the board members were literate and donated money to enroll them in the first grade. So now that I'm like looking at this, guys, it's the English teacher in me. I like have to correct this. Just a heads up, you guys, when you are quoting a book, you underline it. So this should be underlined. Whoops. This should be underlined instead of given, like it shouldn't have quotes. It should be underlined. Just a heads up for you guys. It's the English teacher in me. I've got to let you know, I've got to correct the grammar, especially when I'm sharing the memes. So on to the next one. Do you think To Kill a Mockingbird should be banned? So now that you've read it, like, do you think that like because of the language in it, it should be banned, or because of the themes, it's not appropriate for kids, that sort of thing? Or do you think it was a great read? It was very meaningful and impactful, and it changed the way that you view things, so you don't think it should be banned? So feel free to respond to that. You can make a video or send in a typed response for extra credit. And then also, I'm curious, did you guys like the book? So you loved it or you hated it? Just genuinely curious about that. And that's about it for it. So I've had a really good time with you guys this semester. Stay safe, have fun this summer. Hopefully you guys aren't in summer school yet because you guys are all freshmen. Do some reading, get ahead, stay safe.